A season that Northwestern is eagerly anticipating. Just talked to a few of their players. You see the Cats toward the top of the Big Ten in terms of all conference performers returning from last year. Preston Stone, who we just talked to, the SMU transfer, will be the starting quarterback and have some really talented returnees, including one of the best offensive linemen in the Big Ten in Caleb Tiernan. We have the head coach of the Wildcats here with us now in David Braun. And Coach, really appreciate your time as always. Pretty interesting to think about your evolution as a head coach, right? You were really thrown into the fire a couple of years ago, so I would kind of make the argument that last year was your first full year of putting your stamp on the program and saying this is what David Braun's Northwestern team is going to look like. So help us understand kind of how you evolved and where you think you are in terms of establishing the program.
Yeah, you know, it's a long process, right? You can't snap your fingers and do it overnight, but you know, I'm excited about the growth that we're having. Ultimately, a frustrating 4-8 season provides an opportunity for us to evaluate everything, be really honest with ourselves, and timing's a critical thing. I mean, the reality is college football has been flipped on its head these last couple of years in terms of the landscape that we're navigating. You know, this December and January provide an opportunity for us to evaluate everything, how we communicate, how we're organized as a program, you know, how we're going to prioritize, who we scout, how we recruit, how we utilize the transfer portal, with the house settlement, how we're going to, you know, leverage this revenue share model and do it the Northwestern way. I'm really excited about where we're at, Dave. You know, this team today compared to where we were at 12 months ago, dramatically different. And you know, this team's humble, hungry. We got a chip on our shoulder. We're excited for things to get rolling next Wednesday.
And the portal, a huge part of that. And as maybe people who follow this know, Northwestern didn't utilize the portal all that much in previous years, certainly utilized it more this year. That includes Preston Stone, who we just talked to. And I ran into you yesterday, and we were talking a little bit about this. You announced today that Jack Lausch is not going to be back. He's going to pursue baseball full-time after starting 10 games for you a season ago. I don't think there was any doubt that Preston was going to be the guy, but that certainly makes it clear. But we were talking yesterday, like, I can't believe there's not more buzz about him. I mean, you watch him from 2 years ago. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Give people a sense of what you got in Preston Stone.
You know, I've mentioned this earlier today, but in our preparation for Duke in 2024, we watched a bunch of 2023 SMU tape because Duke's offensive coordinator had come from SMU. The second that Preston went in the transfer portal as a program, the quarterback from SMU, we got to go get that guy. The way that he is integrated in the team, built relationships, learned the offense, there's no one else in the country that I'd rather have as our starting quarterback. And again, yes, deep ball accuracy, processing, but the way that he has built relationships with our team and the way that our team gravitates towards him, I'm really excited about the things that this offense is going to be able to do this fall.
So, Coach, continue with Preston. Okay, so when you recruited him, did you tell him you're going to be our starter? And if you did, do you tell the rest of the team that he is going to be our starter? There's not going to be a quarterback competition?
You know, ultimately, if we're going to say one of our core values is competition, you know, you got to be honest with guys in terms of, like, ultimately you're going to have to earn this. You know, competition and earned opportunity. You're honest with them. Preston, we have you here for a reason. We believe in you. We need to play better at the quarterback position next fall. And what he did throughout the offseason and what he put on display throughout spring, it was abundantly clear that he was our starting quarterback and going to position us to be at our best in the fall.
So did you tell the team that in the meeting that Preston was the starting quarterback at the end of spring? Or
we shared with Preston post-spring in the quarterback room. There hasn't been a formal announcement to our team, but I'm sure our entire team knows now.
How about with Coach Lujan being back this year too? I mean, what's their relationship like, and what's his opinion of Preston and what he can open up for the offense?
Yeah, no, great relationship, and been fun to see them work together. It's been fun to see both of them kind of tutor some of the young quarterbacks in the room. It's been a good exercise for Zach too, of really identifying Preston's strengths and the things that he's really comfortable with. It's also been good for, you know, Zach's offense to push Preston out of his comfort zone a little bit in terms of things that look a little bit different than the way that they were operating at SMU. the thing I enjoy is just the dialogue between the two. You know, when you're talking to Preston Stone, you're talking to a coach on the field, and I know that's something that Zach, you know, really enjoys.
Your defensive background is basically how you came through coaching, but the offense controls the game. The play caller controls the game. In your third year going in, how involved are you in the offensive game plan, and how involved are you in the play calling during the game?
Yeah. Certainly involved in terms of decision making going forward on fourth down. Very involved, high level strategically, how we're approaching, how we're evaluating, you know, our team and the things that they do well. And ultimately, the thing that we need to do a great job of is find ways in all three phases of the game, but specifically on offense, is differentiating ourselves. You know, keeping our opponent soft balance, and ultimately, you know, with the development of the quarterback room, the development of that offensive line room, Cam Porter, Joe Hyman, Caleb Almalafe in the running back room, you know, the wide receiver room, very unproven, but really excited about that room. Feel like we're positioned for Zach to be in a position where he can really catch his stride as a play caller. There's so much more comfortability in the offense with our team. And yeah, I'm involved with that. But what I will tell you is I trusted and hired Zach Lujan to call our offense. Sure. And, you know, I've seen it go the wrong way when head coaches feel like they got to be involved in everything, and they also ultimately become disruptive on. Zach and I have talked a lot about what we need to do, and really excited about what I saw throughout the progression of spring ball. Excited for this fall.
We called your game, our crew called your game against Wisconsin last year, and there had been some injuries in the trenches. And you just flat out told us, you said, listen, if we want to get where we want to be, winning games and competing, the offensive line has to come along. Yep. And we heard you at your presser up there compliment that group. Just curious, you know, what's the identity of that group, and what's the ceiling for them this year?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately there's competitive depth in that room for the first time since I've been at Northwestern. There's some really good football players that, you know, don't know if they're going to be starting for us in the fall or not, and we need to do a great job of establishing, you know, our wide zone principles, utilizing the things that come off of that, and from a mentality standpoint, every single person on our team, when it's 4th and 1, doesn't matter where we're out on the field, should be demanding that we're going for it, trusting that behind that offense line we can pick up that 1 yard. And you know, it's been a neat experience for that offensive line. The work of Bill O'Boyle and Ryan Olson. You know, we've gone to more of an NFL model where it's truly an offensive line coach and Bill O'Boyle, and, you know, Ryan Olson, our run game specialist, assistant O-line coach. Like, we talk about development, but we're investing in that development. You know, Bill's ability to be more frequently around our players, even in spring recruiting, while Ryan was out on the road, has started to pay off.
Coach, we're starting to see a lot of renderings of the new Ryan Field. We're a year away, essentially, from that stadium opening up for you guys. It's pretty amazing. I mean, I mentioned with the players, the most expensive college football stadium ever built, which is somewhat staggering. But what will that do? What does the anticipation of that do for your program?
It's really exciting. And when you have an opportunity with, you know, class of 2026 recruits to step into that venue and be down at field level and see it with your own eyes, the design, the development, the attention to detail that's gone into this project, it's amazing. It will be the best venue in football.
So that being said, second year on the lakefront, which is a much more intimate setting.
Yeah.
You and your wife stepped up last year. I mean, you guys were even contributors to, hey, let's get us on the lakefront. This could be special. This could be different. It's a great solution to this 2-year problem. What did that more intimate environment do for you guys, and what do you hope it can do this year?
You know, it didn't produce enough wins, Dave. We're excited to, you know, create a home field advantage and win a lot of games on the lakefront this year. But it did provide one of the most unique experiences in all of college football. It did allow for our fan base to truly stay completely engaged with our program, and ultimately, and in my opinion, most importantly, for our players and our students at Northwestern being right on campus, it was the right move and the perfect bridge to the new Ryan Field.
This year goes well for the Cats if what happens?
You know what? That's a great question. What I will tell you is, in terms of the way that we evaluate how we're operating as a program, we're asking ourselves, individually and collectively, have we operated in a way today that is reflective of winning a Big Ten championship? And if we can answer yes to that as we go throughout the season, that's a successful season. Does that mean 8 wins in a bowl championship, 9 wins in a potential college football playoff bid? Time will tell. But we're not going to put a ceiling on this team.
Coach, you're one of 2 private schools in the Big Ten Conference. With all the new legislation, the profit sharing, the NIL, has it been a positive for a school like Northwestern?
Absolutely. I will be as bold to say I have so much reverence and appreciation for what this program has achieved over the years, both on and off the field. But timing, and I'm not saying turning it around in 12 months and snapping fingers to make it happen, but going into the future, long-term, building a model of sustainability on a rock-solid foundation, we can state that why can't we do it better than we've ever done it before under this new
Wow, that's great.
David Braun, head coach of the Wildcats. Coach, thanks a lot. Best of luck this year, and we'll see you at camp coming up here in a few weeks.
Thanks, Dave.